Chapter 31, Servicing Air Brake Systems, Day 1, Video 11, S-Cams. So some of the inspections that we're going to do, we've got the brake wheel ends are apart, and now we need to do a check of the S-Cam. So looking at here, we've got the S-Cam, so here's the S-shaped, and then the shaft coming through and the spline gears here for engagement into the slack adjuster. So a couple of things we're going to look for here is signs of wear and tear, damage to the surface of that S-Cam. So the surface along here and right across there, we have a roller that rides along there or rolls along here. Same on the other side of the S, there and up and around to that part of the S, lower part of the S. That roller, as it rolls along there, we want to make sure that it is not sliding. So if that roller is no longer rolling, it's corroded up and it's bound up in the brake shoe. So that S-cam, or I'm sorry, the cam follower would start to slide across here. What that'll cause is flat spots. So either we could potentially flat spot the S-cam or flat spot the cam follower, or the roller. So those are things that we're going to look for: corrosion, cracks, damage, flat spots, damage to the roller and the follower on the S-cam surface. Next thing, moving down here on the shaft here of the S-cam, we've got two bushings. This is located in the S-cam tube, and so we've got a bushing located along this surface and along this surface inside that tube. So we're going to look for, when we get the cam out, we want to look for wear across the surface of this part of the S-cam. We're looking for cracks or damage or corrosion or pitting, that sort of stuff. So it didn't matter if we would rebuilt this and put new bushings in it. If this is worn down or it's corroded, that's going to take out the new bushings prematurely. So any kind of damage or anything here to these two surfaces, we're going to pay attention to there. And then any damage to the splines here on the end of the shaft too. We're going to make sure those are good. We wanted to, before we pull that S-cam out, we're going to check for the up and down play and the radial play in the bushings. So if we have wear in between the bushings and the surface here on the S-cam shaft, we want to measure that. Put a dial indicator to indicate off the S-cam, and then move it up and down to see what kind of wear we have between the S-cam and those bushings. So we want to maintain it as less than 30 thousandths of an inch of movement. Right, so what ends up happening, if we have excessive movement up and down, those bushings are worn out. When the slack adjuster is moving to twist the S-cam, some of that movement is used up in taking up the wear or the clearance that we have in those S-cam shaft, S-cam bushings, and that slack adjuster is not going to operate properly. So we need to make sure that we're maintaining and monitoring that wear that we've got between the S-cam and the S-cam bushings. Another thing to take a note of is when we're looking at those S-cams is we've got a right hand and a left hand S-cam. So here we've got the S shaped here, right? One direction. The other one would be up here, come down and down this way. So just the opposite shaped S, all right? So we're going to have a right hand and a left hand depending on counterclockwise for left, clockwise rotation for the right. We need to make sure that if we are working on these components, cleaning them and that with the S-cams, that we make sure that we keep those separated, because we don't want to mix up the clockwise and counterclockwise or left and right hand side with each other. If we are servicing that those bushings, there's some grease seals that we need to make sure we get the lip or the placed properly inside of that S-cam tube, so that the grease is purged out and doesn't allow any dirt and stuff in. So make sure that we're following the proper procedure for installing those seals and installing those bushings. And then if there's any end play in this SCAM with the slack adjuster, we'll put shims between the end of the SCAM tube and that slack adjuster to maintain that 60 thousandths of, no more than 60 thousandths of end play in that SCAM tube.